Welcome back to the program State of the Nation. The civil service remains a viable mechanism for policy formulation and implementation. This suggests that the government needs an efficient workforce to drive its plans. There have been debates about whether or not motivation or remuneration is directly proportional to productivity. How does this apply to Nigeria? Recently, the federal government agreed to a 30,000 naira minimum wage, a departure from the previous amount of 18,000 naira. Now, what impact should we expect that this would have on workers' productivity and the growth of the Nigerian economy at large? How can both the government and workers benefit from the wage increase, especially in a country that desperately needs to do more so that it can earn more? Joining me in the studio to discuss the newly approved minimum wage and the productivity of workers in Nigeria is Comrade Onyeka Chris. He's an executive member of the United Labour Congress of Nigeria. Thank you so very much, Comrade, for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
All right, so workers have eventually gotten maybe not exactly what they wanted, but at least this is some 66.6% wage increase. Should they be excited?
It's a two-way thing. Somehow we should be happy because the 30,000 naira minimum wage is a product of struggle, a struggle of over 3 years. And so on that basis that we have seen the end of that struggle, we should be happy. But at the end of the day, what we got from that particular struggle, is it a living wage? No, it's not a living wage. Is it going to take us home? No, it's not going to take us home. But it's better than 18,000 naira. And so on that basis, we would say, okay, we are better off now than yesterday. But we hope, okay, that going forward, that something better will happen.
Yeah.
As we move into the next phase of the struggle.
Everywhere across the world, across the world, productivity improves income. All right, and we know that the question of productivity has been a big question in Nigeria. We also know some of the things that we see in Nigerian civil service. Some staff wouldn't show up until like 10, 11, doing other things even whilst at work. Now, so the government have made some steps in bettering the life of these workers. Should we expect, is it fair to expect as much as double level of productivity, or at least 60% better productivity from these workers? Is there any correlation between both?
Yeah, definitely there is a correlation between the conditions of service. Okay.
I'm not talking about theory now. I'm looking at the Nigerian situation.
Yes, exactly.
Is it fair?
It's derived from reality. The theory is derived from reality. When you pay workers peanuts, you have monkeys. Okay. When you treat them as humans, okay, you have human beings working for you. So in essence, when workers receive better treatment, productivity improves. But the fact is that it is wrong to assume that Nigerian workers are less productive.
No, it's not an accusation. Definitely, Nigeria needs to improve its productivity.
Definitely, every society does need
across levels,
every
because we're already having budgetary problems. We don't have enough money. There are things we need money for, and to have that money aside from borrowing, we need to increase productivity.
Yes, we need to increase productivity. But remember that a worker is given a job and is also provided with tools with which to work. If you pay him all you want to pay him, and you refuse to provide the right work tools, and you refuse to provide the right work environment, there is going to be a problem. But the fact is that workers are motivated when you increase salary. 30,000 naira minimum wage will definitely increase productivity. And one of the things we talk to our members about is the need for us to focus on our job and to deliver more. Because naturally, when a lot of people talk about productivity in Nigeria, they tend to look at the civil service. It is Nigerian workers are not just civil service. Civil servants are basically less than 10% of the entire workforce. The others are in the private sector. And so when you talk about productivity in Nigeria, you find out that Nigerian workers are one of the more productive segments of workforce in Africa. Do you know that Nigerian workers are sought by other African countries? Nigerian workers. The same workers we talk about, I would say they are not productive, but they are sought after by other countries, other nations of Africa, because they know that naturally the Nigerian worker is productive.
All right, so you've mentioned the issue of the right work environment, the right skills, because to agree with you, no matter how much one wants to do better, some people cannot just do better because they have a certain level of training, they have a certain level of exposure, and despite their best efforts, their productivity level might not change. What does the government need to do? Especially because we know that spending is a problem right now. We need to look for ways to be economical and to be strategic about how we spend. There is need to spend money on training. But how do we manage these two situations such that the money that we have given to workers, our productivity level sort of increases in such a way that we don't fall into the financial problems that we're already experiencing in the country? Because only productivity can get us out of that doldrums.
You see, when you dissect the productivity roadmap, you find out that the factors of production, okay, when you look at all the factors of production, that labor is just a segment, is just a fraction of the factors of production. And so when you look at the other segments, if you look at labor alone and you do not look at the others, that was what I was talking about, the environment, the context in which the worker works. Now, when you are talking about training, you want to train the worker. Yes, after training the worker, do you provide the right work tool? For example, a worker in an organization. Let's take the judiciary for example. And you expect the guy to write in longhand instead of providing the right electronic gadgets for him to do his work.
Are you saying we shouldn't expect any better level of production?
Of course, we should expect, because it is what has been done would motivate the workers further. But there is still a question. Are you going to provide the right work environment, the right work tools? Are you going to create the right environment for the worker to deliver his best? The Nigerian worker wants to deliver his best, but there are a lot of constraints which government must have to remove. The ones we call shibboleths, they have to be removed.
Comrade Onyeka, Chris, Executive Member, United Labour Congress of Nigeria, thank you very much for your time on State of the Nation.
Thank you for having me.
And that's how the program has been. It's a wrap on State of the Nation tonight. Many thanks for watching. We would like you to know your own thoughts on current level of insecurity and the minimum wage issues that were briefed on the program tonight. Let's continue the conversation online. Tweet at me at KAY-Alayonde. You can use the hashtag State of the Nation. Thank you for being part of the program. I'm Kayode Alayonde. Bye now.